mynews.studio.
In the heart of the Amazon, Alto Mishagua, a small Peruvian village, now has solar panels lighting up homes. Could a place this remote really trigger a bigger change in how the world thinks about energy?
Today's date is 2025, 6/13. Let's lay out what happened. We're talking about a village deep in the Amazon, no connection to the power grid, suddenly getting electricity and internet because of solar energy. But how did they manage to make that happen?
It started with Roxana Borda Mamani and her team. They saw the need for electricity, but getting funds was a big challenge. Most investors aren't looking at remote communities. Things changed when they joined Student Energy's guided projects. That's where they learned both the technical side, how to actually design a solar system, and also how to approach fundraising.
So it wasn't just about buying some solar panels and hoping for the best. They needed to build partnerships too. I noticed UNILA, the Federal University of Latin American Integration, was mentioned. What role did they play exactly?
UNILA took on logistics. They helped with buying and setting up the solar panels and bringing in the satellite internet equipment. Their technical experience and presence in the field turned the plan into a real system. Without that, it would have stayed just an idea.
Let's focus on what this means day to day. Now, 40 families have electricity. In practical terms, what's changed for them?
The difference is huge. Before, there was no reliable power, no way to connect online. With the first phase, families can charge phones, use basic devices. Kids can now tap into educational resources that aren't just in textbooks. People can call relatives or reach emergency services. For example, if someone had a snake bite before, they'd have to travel by boat just to get help.
That's a real leap forward. What happens next? Is this just the first step?
Yes, this is phase 1. The second phase is set to finish by the end of 2025. All 40 households will have full solar energy systems, so consistent electricity for everyone. That's going to open up new possibilities for education, small businesses, even community projects.
Can other remote or indigenous communities use this as a guide? Or is Alto Mishagua an exception?
The model can be adapted. What made it work here? First, youth leadership. Roxana and her team led the way. Second, the community made decisions together, so everyone supported it. Third, they reached out for outside partnerships. They started small, proved it worked, and then grew.
I want to dig into the youth leadership part. Why is it so important in this context?
Young leaders brought new perspectives and energy. They were the ones learning the technical details, finding resources, and keeping things moving. In places where traditional systems can be slow, having young people lead can really make the difference.
If someone listening is wondering if this could work in their own community, what's the main lesson?
Start with a real need. Build partnerships that matter. Include everyone in the process. Support young leaders. And remember, it takes time. Change comes gradually, but the results can be significant.
So Alto Mishagua isn't only lighting their own homes, they're showing what's possible for other communities. They're advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and proving that indigenous communities can lead their own change.
Exactly. This is just a starting point. Alto Mishagua's experience is a template: energy independence, local leadership, and concrete progress.
Solar panels in the rainforest, the internet arriving where it never existed, and a model that others can learn from. That circles us back to where we began. Could one village really change the global energy story?
Thank you for joining us as we looked at how Alto Mishagua transformed sunlight into new opportunities and maybe inspiration for others.
Thank you for listening. This episode is brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it now, free of charge.